Welcome to Tom Papa's Come to Papa.
Come to Papa. Come see your Papa.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Come to Papa, your favorite show of all shows ever made, anywhere, at any time. Good to see you. I hope you're enjoying your week. I hope you're enjoying your winter. I know all the people back east are really taking it in the chin, as they say, getting pummeled, and it's gone beyond the cute part. It's gone beyond the, oh, wow, we have a good storm coming. Let's get some cocoa. Let's stay in. Tell our boss it's over. Now it's just icy and crappy and sad. And we're here to cheer you up. From Los Angeles, California, with my good pal, comedian, actor, host, drummer, all-around good guy, Jonah Ray.
Hello.
Hi, Jonah.
Did I interrupt you? It looked like you were about to say something else.
I was about to just start plugging some dates because I realized I didn't plug my big date at in Seattle. I'm playing Parlor Live this weekend.
Nice.
And then I'm going to the NJ Pack in New Jersey.
What's that?
It's a performing arts center in Newark.
That's great.
Beautiful place.
So these are bigger theaters, like fancy. That sounds like a fancy theater.
That's a fancy one.
Yeah.
That's a fancy one. And then on my second show in Chicago at the City Winery, which is a fancy venue also.
Is it also a winery?
They do sell wine. There's like the City Winery in New York. There's a bunch opening up around the country.
Nice.
They're kind of nice theater kind of places, and a lot of good music acts play.
Nice.
And so I'm trying to up my game as far as fanciness is.
So you're tired of just big venues. You want to go nice big venues.
Yeah.
Has that brought down the size of the venue going nicer?
Incredibly.
Really?
So yeah, I was just going to plug some stuff and tell you to go to tompapa.com for all of my dates and such.
When are you going to do that?
I'm going to save that for about 15 minutes in.
Okay, cool.
And then I'm going to go.
Save it for a real emotional story. Start me up. You're me talking about my dad, and then
right,
and
exactly.
Then go, that reminds me.
Get you to start crying.
Yeah, City Winery.
Well, Jonah, you are a very funny comedian.
Thank you.
And I don't know you very well.
No.
I'm an admirer of yours. You do a lot of funny things. You were a host on the Nerdist Network. You had that great show on Comedy Central. Is it still going?
Yeah, we're going to do our third season this summer.
Sweet.
Yes, The Meltdown with Jonah Kamel.
With Jonah Kamel, and that's which you guys started out of the back of a comic book store, and it turned into a television show.
Yeah, and it's still a show in the back of a comic book store.
It's still just shot there.
Yeah, we shoot it there, and we still do the show every Wednesday too.
I keep wanting to go by.
You are always welcome, and I've told you that before.
You did, yeah. And I don't know what it is. What time is it on Wednesdays?
We start at 8:30 on Wednesdays,
and just go.
Yeah,
maybe
usually
I'll go tomorrow.
Oh, please! It's a good show tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm sure. I think there's a few people on that you know and are friends with.
Yeah.
But it's a fun show. It's like we try not to go past the 2-hour mark. Usually, we try to wrap it up by around 10:30.
Smart.
It gets real hot in that back room of a comic book store.
Right. I did one show there for All Things Comedy with Bill Burr and Al Madrigal.
That's right. Yeah, because it is kind of just a space now that people do stuff. When I started there, it was my comedy show and then art shows and then storage space.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what made you decide to start comedy there?
Well, there was this girl that was that I knew that was dating a comic, and she wanted to kind of put on a show there because she was working there. And she had me be the permanent host, and it was a monthly show. It was free. We had like free beer.
That's great.
And it was nice. It was on Fridays. Nice. I took over, and I wanted to take it weekly, but lazy. And then luckily, Kumail Nanjiani and his wife Emily Gordon moved to town.
Right.
And they're like, we were thinking about doing a weekly show. I was like, have I got a place for
really?
you?
And were you guys pals before that?
We were becoming pals. It was that thing. They had just moved from New York, and I had met him a couple times out there. Very kind of similar. So I just started seeing a girl, and he was married, so it's like we kind of went on a couple friend dates.
Nice.
And yeah, we kind of got along, and we actually became better friends from just doing the show.
Oh, that's cool. That's so funny how things are perceived, isn't it? Like, whenever you see like something else happening somewhere, like for years I thought like Maria Bamford and Patton Oswalt were hanging out and going to pool parties together.
Because of comedians of comedy.
Because comedians of comedy, and you're out. I was in the East Coast. I didn't really know the scene out in L.A. too much. And then you go and you talk to Maria. She's like, "No, I'm friends with the grocer down the street."
Well, that's my perception of New York comedy. I think everybody hangs out at the Cellar,
right?
And it's just they're all friends, and that's why everyone's on everyone's show, and completely forgetting that that's basically what happens out here.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. There is a little bit more of that in New York. I think that Cellar dynamic.
Yeah.
Because it is such a place where you can just drift into every
You end
single
up
night.
there.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
There's no real end up place here.
No, there's no like diner or everything's so spread out, and it is kind of a bummer. I mean, that's why my favorite festival is Montreal, not because of the shows, but because of that everyone ends up at that Hyatt bar.
I know.
And it feels like a festival.
Yeah.
You know, it feels like you're running into people as if it was, a music festival where everything happens on the same day.
Yeah, and you get to hang out and see some people. I've been playing the Comedy Store a lot lately, which has been great.
It's becoming that. People are just going there every night now.
I don't know where to hang out though. I stand in the hall sometimes.
That's the problem.
That front bar, it's not really just comics.
No.
You know what was the brilliant stroke of the Comedy Cellar? Because it was the similar, like the Comedy Store is in the front, there's like an outdoor kind of bar area where someone got shot, I think. Yes. But most of the time it's just people hanging out. And it's a lot of just regular people and fans of the show, and it's kind of loud and chaotic. And the comedians, like if you go over there, you're just kind of like, you got to find a friend and hang on like a life raft.
Yeah.
The Comedy Cellar, Manny Dwarman, God rest his soul, who started the place, he created a table there and he put little signs up that said Comedy Cellar comedians only.
Yeah.
So it didn't even mean, like, you couldn't just be a comedian. You had to be passed at that club to be able to sit and hang out at that table.
And I've heard many stories about this table, and I've seen it in an empty room. And it's not that big.
No, it's tiny. Maybe 6 seats.
Yeah.
And 8 if you stuff them in there.
So wouldn't you?
But it was a haven. Like, well, everyone's trying to come in and out of the shows, and you could like go and just know you could sit there and not be hassled.
Can you talk during the show there in that table?
Yeah, because it's upstairs.
Oh,
that's
okay.
The Olive Tree restaurant is upstairs, and then downstairs in the cellar is the Comedy Cellar.
Oh, I see. So that table, the back table's it's kind of a misnomer.
It's not. Yeah, it's the back table of the Olive Tree, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's not in the showroom.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I happenstance. I when I first went to New York, I didn't know that. I just thought the cellar was the cellar. I didn't know there was the restaurant above was so. But I was just looking for a place to grab a beer,
right?
And I was like, well, there's a Comedy Cellar, and I just went up to that place, and then everybody I knew kept on walking in. I was like, what is it?
It is pretty great. The Improv had that out here for a while.
That bar was great.
It was so great. They're going back to it though now.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, because they closed down. They're just doing shows in that new bar that they tried to make work into a thing.
Yeah.
Then now it's just going to be shows. It became like a Holiday Inn lobby bar.
Yeah, that's a thing I find with a lot of comedy bars or parties. Like every time you go, it's like, oh, it's like Comedy Central's throwing a party or this festival's throwing a party, and you go, and it's not a place that any comic would want to go to or be in. I mean, I'm not an antisocial kind of guy. I'm very sociable, very gregarious. But any party that a Comedy Central or anyone puts on, I'm just like, I don't want to be here. I don't think anyone wants to be here.
The worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. You always walk in. There's always loud, like intense club music playing.
Yeah.
And all comedians want is to be able to hear each other. That's it.
Themselves mainly.
Mainly themselves.
Yeah.
But it's conversation, and you want to hear, and you go. They do not want to hear loud music and dance floor.
Yeah, it's packed. It's that's why when we have our rap parties for the Meltdown tapings at just like a crappy bar in Silver Lake. Just literally, it's in a strip mall.
So very, that's great.
It's just where we'd rather hang out.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Now, do you pick the acts for that show, or
that's Emily? We Kumail and I hosted together, and Emily Gordon is the producer. She's also a writer on Gerard Carmichael's sitcom.
Oh,
but she's really good. Yeah, it's a great show.
I know,
and she's now doing this show, booking a weekly show and writing on this.
Wow,
and it's insane for her, but she's still keeping it up. It's but we kind of if I see someone at another show that I think is really good, I kind of try to keep my eye on like younger guys, because that's a way an established show can really just dry up and not be relevant, is if you don't also like get a hold and support the younger comics coming up,
for sure.
And it kind of happened I think with Largo, where it just became all the friends, and that's easy to do because you just want to hang out with your friends,
right?
But then, then the younger comics start to resent it. And then
they go find a new space.
They find a new space. And then the general comedy audience gets older and stops going to shows as much. And they start going to the younger shows.
Right.
I've seen it happen so many times with so many shows that I've wanted to not do that with this one.
It really is so interesting. It's amazing how... First, it's amazing how it just never stops. That there's just always new crops of people pulling into town, hungry, ready to do shows, to go anywhere.
Waves from New York and Chicago on the reg.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Just like, hey, I'm ready to go. And then you blink your eyes, like you get caught up into doing like a project or a TV show or something. And within like a year and a half, you're like, who are all these people?
Yeah. It's incredible, and I hate it.
But it's got to be cool for you because you get to at least... keep your finger on the pulse a little bit, like just at your show, the TV show and the live show.
It is nice because you kind of start to see the other little groups and scenes popping up. There's these kids on the East Side, like Solomon Giorgio, and just like Eric Dodorian. You're like, oh wow, what a cool little, and like they all live in a house together in Highland Park, and they throw shows on the garage. I was like, that's a cool thing. And then there's the new crop of guys that are just like dedicated to going to the Comedy Store, and, those younger guys, and they're elder statesmen as a guy that you went to open mics with,
right?
That's the part. I'm now like I think 12, 13 years in, and it's one of those things where all of a sudden you're talking to a kid that kills it on stage and says, I remember seeing your premium blend. And you're like, wait, how old were you? Oh, I was 7. You're like, okay.
So crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. And you're like, I'm still trying to not do material from that set. I'm still trying to cycle myself out of that.
Isn't it amazing? Like you don't feel that much older than when you showed up.
No.
Right?
But that might just be entertainment in general.
I think it is.
It's just perpetual adolescence, especially comedy.
For sure.
Yeah.
But you have a relationship, right? You're in a relationship.
Yeah, that was a thing I kind of set out to do, where I kind of wanted to have a life outside of comedy.
Right.
I saw Eating a lot of Friends alive, The Road, and just being out every night doing comedy, and I wanted to make sure I had friends and relationships and life outside of it.
Right.
And
so,
are
you married?
Yeah, I've been married almost 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
No kids?
No kids. She doesn't want them.
She doesn't want them.
Yeah, so I really lucked out with that.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's going to keep you younger even more.
I see it, but also I do see it motivate guys to no end.
For sure. But, it's kind of interesting. I've got 2, and they're people now. They're like, their oldest is 13. Like, they're real people.
That's like, yeah.
And it doesn't it hasn't cut down on my adolescent feeling for myself. You know what I mean? It's a strange thing. There's so much responsibility.
Yeah.
No, less selfish for sure.
Yeah.
I'm always fighting it. There's always like, I want to do. So I was thinking about it last night. Like, it doesn't even matter. I was done with dinner, and my youngest didn't want help with her homework. She was cocky and just like, I'm going to go do my own thing. And I was like, fine. And my wife went off to do her thing, and the oldest is just doing her thing. And I'm like, all right, I'm alone. I can do whatever I want right now. I'm just sitting on the couch. I'm like, I can watch whatever I want. But then the feeling of everybody thinking about what you're doing and where you are is so heavy on your chest, like an X-ray blanket, that you're purely never completely free.
Yeah.
You're really not.
Yeah. That sounds like a very, just a couple non-kid feeling I have is, when I'm not working and my wife is working,
right,
and I have this entire day, the possibilities are endless, and I'm paralyzed by that fact. And then I do nothing. I don't even watch TV or a movie or do anything. I barely get on my phone, and then my wife comes home because all of a sudden it's 6:30. She's like, "What'd you do?" And my response is always the same. It's like, "I just got some writing done." It's like always, because there's no way they can really check on that. No one's going to check on to see if you really got any writing done.
No,
because it's also an amorphous thing. It's like, well, I thought about things.
And in all honesty, that is part of it.
Yeah,
just hanging around and not, even if you're not sitting down with a pen and paper, just
letting her mind wander.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
But there is a limit. If you live with like if she came in and you're playing a video game and the dishes are piled up or whatever, it leaves you with a shitty feeling.
It does. It's like right now the situation is that I'm working a lot. I'm in an edit bay, 10 hours a day, and my wife is at home, and so she's like she feels that guilt setting in, and so she just does housework. And
That's good.
it's great. It's great. But then
What does she do?
She's an actress, but then she also does animation.
Cool.
Like she had like a good day job doing animation. She did a short for Nickelodeon and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
But now she's just, like doing the acting thing, auditions, small parts here and there.
Right. So a lot of free time.
Yeah, a lot of free time.
What are you editing now?
I'm editing a show I made for CISO, which is that new NBC digital platform comedy thing. It's a cool service. It's like got like a huge library full of like British comedy stuff.
Right, I heard about that.
Yeah, it's so I sold a show to them where it's called Hidden America with Jonah Ray. And it's a travel show. It's like a Bourdain, but it's a parody.
Oh, nice.
So it's like I go to all these places around the country.
Where did you go?
I went to, we did 9 episodes, New Orleans, San Francisco, Seattle, Los Angeles. That one was to save money.
Wow.
But we did Denver, Boston, Chicago, Atlanta, Austin.
Jeez. So there's a budget.
Yeah, there was a bit of a budget. Not a lot.
Right.
Not a lot. We like stretched it, and it's, it's essentially sketches. So it's like I go to these places and I go talk to this guy, like we have Joel Murray in our Chicago episode.
Right.
And he's a guy that runs the Chicago hot dog place, and he's trying to make like the most like crazy Chicago dog. And for every ingredient, he runs to a different part of the city. And then he gets so overwhelmed trying to do it that he ends up having a heart attack. And
That's funny.
yeah, so it's like we have, it's kind of like reading 911 where it's like, we go to this thing and then it's a sketch.
And so you go to the place and use actors from here or New York or whatever.
We tried mainly to use local.
Oh, you did?
But, you can't, it's
hard.
In this day and age, you kind of got to get some cameos in here and there.
Right.
So we have like some cool cameos, John Ennis, Jill Talley, Jay Johnson, Ian Roberts,
that's cool.
Comedy people.
Right.
But then, we also but I also love the Onion News Network videos where you never recognize any of the people.
I know.
Because it just kind of gives it that little sense of fake reality.
For real. There were so many funny looking people in comedy, like in the beginning of comedy in film and radio.
I talk
TV.
about this.
Do you?
This fact all the time.
Isn't it striking?
It's insane that you have to be a model to be a comedian.
I
now.
was go on Sunset, and there's like these giant billboards of comedies coming up on different networks, and everybody is beautiful for comedies.
Yes. I remember like a couple years ago, I was at Montreal and I saw the lineup of New Faces, and I was like, what's the prerequisite for being in New Faces? Is that you also can model for Levi's? Like just these skinny, beautiful people.
Yeah, like where's Buddy Hackett and Jackie Gleason and big dog-faced people?
Yeah, W.C. Fields was a monster. It's like I'm so surprised he wasn't run out of town.
A bulbous nose.
Yeah.
Big craters in it.
Yeah, one of our biggest comedy stars in this country, we called him Fatty.
That's right. Oh,
not that ended well, but
no, it was a little sad, but
like it's like I think about that all the time. Where and it's no fault but I think it kind of started with Old School, where they did this thing where they wanted every small role, no matter what, to be filled with someone that was really funny. And that's admirable, and it worked for that movie.
Yeah,
but that became what it is now. So now you got like these really funny moments in these movies, but it's you got this comic in his 20s playing a cop,
right?
And he shows up and he's no authority, and you're not like that guy's a cop. You're like that's a funny guy playing a cop,
right?
Where if you look at comedies from the 80s and the 70s and the 60s, they got these character actors that were able to be funny and play to that comedy.
For sure.
And they felt like a cop, or they felt like a clerk. It wasn't, it wasn't just this, hey, look at that alt comic as the store clerk, being crappy, or, look at that young kid playing the millennial in this thing. He's a DJ. It felt more real, and now it just seems like everything's, a Funny or Die sketch where it's like the entire community came together to make something.
Yeah. It's so, isn't it weird though that like, you're not even talking about network stuff. You're talking about like Funny or Die videos, and it's still like this incestuous
I think
comedy.
All of it,
yeah, all of it.
And the movie's like, like Neighbors, it's a, very funny movie. But like, like they have, Hannibal Buress, very like one of the funniest comics around, but he's playing a cop, and you're like, hey, that cop, that's Hannibal.
Right.
Like
that's what, it's a good spot. And I mean, you do have cameos, but like when you watch Fargo, a lot of weird looking people.
Yeah.
You got your Hanks and a couple other people, but like using like Gary Valentine playing a cop.
Yes.
Just, he's stuffed into that uniform.
Yeah.
The buttons are breaking.
It's perfect.
It's, there's something about that.
I tried to do that a lot with like the Hidden America show where, we were, our friend was helping us with casting as a favor, and she would send me this list. She's like, here's for the school teacher being interviewed.
Right.
And it's just models. And I was just like, give me a real person.
Yeah.
Give me, and I just wanted, I was like, in all honesty, give me ugly people, give me weird looking people.
That's exactly it.
Because then you're not, we have one scene in a taqueria, and it's like, we got these two really authentic, just Latino LA people.
Yeah.
And then there's just this model. She's one of the most gorgeous people I've ever seen. And it's like, you're watching the cut and you're just, all of a sudden you're like,
I know. And God bless the beautiful people. They're not funny.
No.
Because they didn't spend a life trying to survive off something else.
No.
They didn't walk into a room and have people go, ugh.
Yeah. They could be smart because they spent a lifetime trying to convince people they're smart.
Right.
But it's let the weird people have something.
So are you happy with the show? What are you calling the show?
Hidden America.
Hidden America.
Yeah, I was trying to think of kind of a Bourdain-y, parts unknown.
Yeah. Hidden America is good.
Thanks. Yeah, because ideally, originally I pitched it to network, True TV.
Right.
And my whole idea of the show was I was trying to make it real dry and with the name kind of just doesn't sound like a comedy. It just sounds like a travel show. Have it be my name because I'm a guy that's hosted some stuff.
Right.
And so the idea was it's like Hidden America, Boston. Oh, cool. A travel show.
Right.
And, we shot it like a Bourdain where it's like real beautiful, real just hyper poetic, lip flapping about stuff, but just little dry hidden jokes here and there. And the idea was I just wanted to trick people with this show.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch, it's like, oh, cool, guy making gumbo. And then the guy turns out to be like a truth or conspiracy theorist and equating gumbo to, the lizard people coming through the Stargate and the cumin bean, the Jews that run the world kind of thing. It's just So
are you writing it?
Yeah, I wrote it and I had a really good staff. I had Matt Dwyer's an old Second City guy, Mike Mitchell, who was on the Birthday Boys, and then Mark Rivers, who he's done stuff with Mr. Show and some of that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then Troy Miller is directing it. And he's got a nice little pedigree.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's good. That's a good crew.
Yeah.
And so, how many people would go out to the location?
It would be me. One writer was I was very much because I'm in every scene. So
right.
The director, the producer, 2 camera people, 2 camera ops, and a sound guy.
Okay.
Real small.
That's small. That's good.
Yeah.
And you can get it done. And how long would you stay in a town? Just
about
day or
4
two?
days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because there was setups, and then there was also we also interview people on the street to kind of it's like once you start hearing a real person talk or another real person talk, and then you start talking to someone that's a character, you kind of don't recognize it right away.
Right.
So it's kind of a way. It's like the whole thing is just trying to trick people. I think mainly people will be I'll get more. As opposed to laughs.
Right. Well, that's
no different from my stand-up. Yeah, I could see where that would be funny.
That's hilarious. How many did you do?
9.
9? Wow. Yeah. Half hours?
Yeah, they end up being, 23
around
minutes, but it's, it's digital, so it's just going to play out. But, or hopefully,
Are you watching the OJ thing?
I haven't started yet. I'm real behind, but I'm excited to see it. And when I saw the first trailer for it, the teaser, I lost my shit.
I know, me too. I think everyone's kind of feeling that.
Yeah.
And the only reason I bring it up is that you're going to do 9 and then they'll just dump them all and you'll get to watch them all, right?
I think the way CISO's doing it is weekly.
Oh, they are doing weekly?
Yeah, because they're doing a show with the Uprising Brigade and they're putting those out weekly.
It's cooler. It's funny that traditional TV is more I am looking forward to OJ. My wife was like, is it on tonight? I'm like, no, it's not till tomorrow. Yeah. We're actually looking forward to it.
And then Fargo was the same way. I enjoyed the tuning in. X-Files right now, I enjoy tuning in.
I know.
I don't like,
it's too much.
The binge culture it's so me right now. It's like that. I hate it so much because it ruins the social aspect of entertainment, which is that everyone pontificates and talks about what's going to happen. Did you see what happened last week? That's why Mr. Robot was so much fun to watch it too. It was just something crazy happens. You talk about it for a week, and you text with your friends. You talk about it at bars. It's great.
I know. Now the binge thing, it's like we've got to digest 10 hours of this before we go out with Jen and Pete. Yeah. Because they're going to talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't think it's conducive to, and then, what it does is it stifles conversation because, you've been watching Orange is the New Black? It's like, yeah. Don't you, wait, what episode you at? What episode you at is just going to be the theme for this entire decade. Wait, where are you at on that?
It really is kind of shitty. Yeah. This OJ thing, it's really all right, we get to all watch this next one together.
Yeah.
It's amazing, but it's kind of interesting. It just has to be good. That's all it comes down to.
Yes. Yeah. No.
I mean, because there's a lot of stuff on network TV that's that way, but you don't get excited about it.
I don't know if I watch any network. I guess X-Files now, but that's it's 6 episodes. Not really a thing.
I know. Yeah. There's no network stuff that's I really want to see that. Mr. Robot. Where do I get to see Mr. Robot? I'm totally out of the loop on that.
USA.
On demand on USA.
Yeah, you can watch it on demand. I think all the episodes are still up. It's good.
I heard it's great.
Yeah, if you like, it's got a Fight Club vibe to it,
right?
And it's one of the artiest shows. Well, I would have said that before the second season of Fargo came out, which was it now holds the title as artiest.
Yeah, all the split screen.
The split screen, multiple angle, different takes. Do you notice that?
No.
It's like, so it'll be the same action,
right?
But different angles, different takes, because you see the timing is different.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Very cool.
Ash versus the Evil Dead also does a lot of crazy, awesome, artsy stuff.
With Fargo, like, how many directors do you think are doing that season? Because TV directors do... they come in for like one or two and then someone else takes it over.
That's a good point.
Like, who's behind that structure then?
Yeah, because that's not anything that, maybe it's just the editors are just nailing it.
Maybe
that's something they came up with after the fact.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, because they're not using anything different from what they would have gotten anyway.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
You're listening to Come to Papa on Sirius XM 99. I'm here with my good pal, Mr. Jonah Ray. He's a very talented comedian. What should we plug for you? How can people see your Twitter?
I guess at Jonah Ray on Twitter.
At Jonah Ray.
Then this, I'm real proud of my Instagram.
Yes. I need help with my Instagram. I like your bit. I do have a bit, but
but
someone had my name for the years that from when I started Twitter. Someone else had my name. So it was like the real Tom Papa with 5 underscores and a smiley face. So Instagram is way behind my Twitter, and I can't get my Instagram to catch up. It's very frustrating.
It is. I mean, like the ratio is way more on Twitter because it's so passive, but
I guess so.
I'm a big fan of Instagram. I'd rather see what someone's up to or what someone thinks is a cool thing to capture as opposed to what someone thinks of something in 140 characters.
You're very good. Huge news. And I hope it's still huge news. It's still happening.
What is?
Because I know it wasn't a traditional funding for a show. One of my favorite shows of all time, and most comedy people's favorite shows of all time, a lot of comedy people, was Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
And Joel Hodgson and did this amazing show where he was stuck in a space station. I think it was a punishment, and he had to sit with his robot friends.
Yeah.
Right?
They just didn't like him, so they shot him into space.
And he had to watch this horrible... It was the beginning of Comedy Central, I believe, was the first place I saw it, right?
Yeah, actually, it was
Comedy Channel.
It was on Comedy Channel,
right?
Or Ha,
maybe it was. Yeah, maybe because comedian Alan Havey, had like the first talk show on Ha.
That's right. But like Ha and Comedy Channel like got together real fast, right?
Yeah, mushed together and then became Comedy Central eventually. Yeah. And one of the funniest shows ever. And then you would just see the silhouette of these characters watching these horrible, horrible movies, which were great movies. And they would comment, and it was the funniest comments. And it's just a comedic treat. Because then they'd come back to the space station and do this thing. Great show. Huge comedy following. And then everybody was waiting for it to come back.
Yeah.
And now it's coming back. And you're going to be the guy.
Yeah,
you're going to be Joel's part.
Yeah, I'm going to be the new human. Joel, then Mike, now me. It's
crazy.
It's the craziest thing.
So great.
Thanks. I don't know. It's funny because it was my favorite show.
Right.
And I remember I saw the movie in the theaters. I was like, happened to be visiting relatives in Carson City, Nevada. And I was like, this thing is playing in Reno. Drive me to Reno. I have to see this. When did that come out? It was, I think it came out in 98. So I was 16.
Right.
Some of that. So
it's so great.
Yeah, maybe, I can't remember, but it's just, it's like,
drive me though.
It meant so much to me, the show. I was a huge fan of Weird Al, still am, but Weird Al was like, I loved music, and I got to make fun of music with Weird Al.
Right.
And I loved movies and old sci-fi, like crappy B movies, and I got to make fun of them and I had friends.
Right.
But like, but when you're
alone in your room
Yeah, you still
Yeah.
are hanging out. And it's funny. The first meeting I ever had, so I started doing comedy in 2002.
Okay.
Maybe like 2003 or 4. I started, I think the comedy Death Ray Bang Bang show started, and I was like kind of a part of that scene. And,
Right.
and I was on an improv team at UCB and I had like my first meeting. Like a manager said, "Hey, like you're really funny. Come in and meet with us at this agency." And I sit down and they're like, "So what would," they do the whole thing.
Yeah.
"What would the Jonah Ray show be? What would it be? Would it be like, you're a," it was like, I think hipster was just like a brand new term
It was
at the time.
It was fresh.
Yeah. And they're like, it's like hipster live, Silver Lake, or no, they were still saying Los Feliz because, there were always a few years
beats
behind.
behind.
Yeah. And, like you work at because I was working at a record store at the time. Would it be a rec store? And I was like, no. Actually, none of that because that'll be dated immediately.
Right.
And
that's for people that are watching CBS.
Yeah, exactly.
5 years from now.
Yeah, I remember saying I was like, I don't really want to personify my youth culture because I don't want to become the next Barry Sobel. That was like my take on it.
That's funny.
I don't want to be like 20 years from now, like being like, I like the Beastie Boys. Or like,
Still wearing the cool jacket from the 80s.
yeah. So, and they're like, what would you want to do? I said, well, I think, and this is in 2003, and it had only been off the air for a little bit. And I was like, I think we should bring it back. I think we should redo it, and I'll be the host of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
That's
and
great.
They laughed at me. They're like, that's never going to happen.
Really?
Yeah, I'll give them credit. They did say like it's too long. People's attention spans aren't that long anymore.
So stupid.
Yeah, real dumb.
Just to get off track for a second, anybody's philosophy of what people can endure and will accept from entertainment is wrong.
Yes.
Unless they say you just got to make it great.
Yeah.
If you make it great, and in comedy, if you make it really funny, you could serve it up an hour long with no commercials. You could serve it up in 2 minutes. Whatever it is.
Yeah. Just because
it has nothing to do with format or any of that other.
No, it's like the idea of like one-liner comics being a little bigger. Like what was that in the early 2000s? Like a lot of one-liner, like Zach, Dimitri started coming up, Dan Mentz, PJ Novak. Like everyone was doing quick jokes.
Yeah.
And I remember people going like, "Well, that's the way it is now. People don't have time for a story." And I remember pleading with my friends. I was like, "I'm not smart enough to write a one-liner.
Right, exactly.
I need to charm the audience with a story.
I have a different thing."
Yeah.
But then you're just funny, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
so funny. So they laughed you out of the room.
They laughed
and
me
this
out of
is
the
in
room.
like 2003
or 4, yeah, something like that. And so like 3 years ago or so, me and Joel Hodgson became acquaintances.
How?
And he was on the Nerdist podcast.
Okay.
And then I actually ran into him at an art show for Wayne White. And Wayne White, he was the guy that designed Pee-wee's Playhouse. He did the Sledgehammer video.
Really?
He's one of those guys where it's like if you go back and you're like, oh, he's done all this stuff. You ever been to Fred 62 and Los Feliz? Those paintings with the 3-dimensional words in them? That's him too.
Jeez.
And he has a great documentary on him called Beauty is Embarrassing.
Really?
And it's really one of the best documentaries I've seen about just like not art as in painting or sculpture, just the artist's life and allowing yourself to just be a part of it.
Really?
And doing
What's it called again?
It's called Beauty is Embarrassing.
Beauty is Embarrassing.
Yeah, and it's just a gorgeous he's like do stuff because it makes you excited, not because of sales or this or that. It's just it's a real great. And it kind of
inspirational.
Very inspirational. Maybe come up with like a term I say in my head a lot these days, which is make stuff, not money.
Right. That was Soderbergh's thing in his Oscar acceptance speech.
Yeah, and I truly believe that, and it's only ever pointed me in the right direction.
Yeah,
I was like taking a lot of money jobs writing on like crappy, magazine TV shows, like comedic entertainment, infotainment stuff.
Yeah,
E and G4, and current TV, like all the tertiary.
But in the beginning, it's a gig, right? Someone's going to give you some money, and you can keep your artistic life alive.
Yeah, you're like, I can be kind of funny at work, and then I can go and be funny at night on my own. And you realize that it's just like you as you progress, it's kind of like the thing you wanted.
Yeah,
but
close.
It's not. But you can't tell the difference for a while.
No,
because you're getting paid for the first time.
And if you don't have your eyes open, it ends up devouring the real creative part of your life.
I had a friend that it was just one of those things. Reality television, like it's like oh, I got hired because like I'm funny while they're shooting some like these reality show stuff, and then he became a story editor because he's the funny guy, and then he got a job like at the company because he was like they're like you're funny, you can be like our comedy, and it's now
A day job?
It's now just he's this like suit at a place, and he's kind of like, man, I just wish we. Like I was talking about like because I'm trying to put together a movie right now, and he was like, man, like I should have made him. I was like, you still can. Like,
can he though? Has he built up a life around those paychecks from the company where he's kind of the gilded cage?
I don't know. It's very possible. I don't think anyone truly is, but I think a lot of people feel that they
feel that way. For sure.
Yeah. And so, allowing myself to just kind of pursue what made me creatively fulfilled as opposed to in my pocket. So
I'm sorry, you met him, Mr. White?
Yes. Well, I met him at like a Wayne White art show, and then I saw him the next night at a Harmontown taping. I just happened to swing by Dan Harmon's podcast, say hi. And he was there, and then a couple weeks later, we chatted there, and he was like, oh, hey, man, And, a couple weeks later, Hardwick, texted me saying, hey, Joel just asked me for your number, so he might be calling you. I was like, oh, jeez. Nice. And I was just sitting at my desk. I was working at the Soup at the time I was writing on it. And I was just, avoiding watching clips of The Biggest Loser or something like that. I remember when I first started working there, sidebar, they're like, you can have The Biggest Loser. That could be one of the shows you look through for clips. And I was like, God. Whoa, they must trust me. That's a big show. I realized it's like, you can't make a joke about that show because you're only going to make fun of fat people.
Right?
And like the only thing I was able to cobble together was like, look how much this guy sounds like he's coming when he's on the treadmill.
Oh God!
I was like the one thing they're like, nope, sorry.
How long were you at the Soup?
I was there for a year. I gave myself a year. And I loved everyone there. Like Katie Anderson is great. And,
great. It's a good group of people. They're all done now, right?
They're done. Yeah.
And Joel's last one, and they're all. I mean, I really love that show just because, and. Just that you were part of it was funny too. Just because I don't watch any of those shows ever.
Yeah.
So for a half hour a week to sit and watch really funny takes on, and then be able to see clips of it is like, all right, I'm all caught up.
Yeah. No, I feel the same way. Like it's like I enjoyed working on that show, and I got some really funny stuff in. I got to make a video with Vanilla Ice, where it's like I did this whole, me and my friend Paul. We wrote this thing where it's like Vanilla Ice tries to restart, like he was a rapper, then he tried to do the hard heavy metal kind of stuff.
Right.
And it's like now he's trying to do an indie rock thing. So we we got Vanilla Ice. I put him in one of my, Western buttoned up shirts, and we put him in the back of a bookstore in Echo Park.
Yeah.
And then we had our friend Mike Henry like play an acoustic guitar, and he was like singing Ice Ice Baby.
But like real thoughtful.
Yeah, real thoughtful. Yeah. So like I got to do weird stuff like that.
Funny.
But yeah, it's, I'm waiting for the phone to ring, and it's like, it rings from a number I don't recognize. I'm like, hello. He's like, hey, man. I'm like, hi, Joel. I was like, oh, hey. And he's like, I just want to say it was really nice meeting you. It was really cool, blah, blah, blah. And then that was it. He's like, all right, well, yeah, maybe I'll come to town. We'll hang out.
Oh, nice.
And then,
and he's in Minnesota still?
No, he's been in Pennsylvania the past few years.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was just one of those things where, then like I went out to Comic-Con in New York to do like a show, and then he's like, hey, let's go get dinner.
Right.
So him and my wife got dinner, and then, he would call me every once in a while. And then all during this time, he was just saying, I'm thinking about bringing it back. Yeah, I'm trying to get the rights back from, Jim Mallon, and, and it was just this slow process of, it happening over a course of a few years. Yeah.
Is he funny? Just hanging out?
He's really funny.
That's right.
You guys actually have like a mutual friend in Jerry.
Yeah, he's good pals with Jerry.
Yeah, so he loves like he loves jokes. Like he loves he loves stopping a conversation to kind of figure out all angles on a funny thing that was just said.
Right.
And like it's like it could be in the middle of like a conversation that was going where he's like, wait, man, wait.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really, he's just such a, I don't like using the term genius, but like he really like he thinks in these crazy, weird, obscure, broad strokes of stuff. And like, he's like, this is what it's going to be, and I'm like, I don't even know how to picture that happening.
Yeah.
And then he kind of starts whittling it down, and then when he's done with it, it's just this perfect little idea.
How interesting!
But he has to talk it out with everybody all the time. It's pretty. It's neat.
So as he's talking through all this stuff, and you have this, admiration for the show, even before it becomes a real thing, is he ever talk about, maybe I'm going to bring the show back and you could be the host, or is it just maybe I'll bring the show back?
It was maybe I'll bring the show back, and I was like, and I was saying, yeah, I mean, that's there's a lot of people I think that would love that.
Yeah.
And then hope I'm not overstepping any bounds when I say I'll be happy to be involved in any way.
Right.
You know, I'll PA, I'll
Yeah,
do it just to have you know, there's there's those comedy things that you want to do in your career when you just want to like tick little boxes off.
Sure.
And one of my boxes was like working on a show like that.
Yeah.
And so like I was like, anything you want.
Yeah.
And then he was like, yeah, oh yeah, maybe you can like, you know, write, because we kind of wrote some jokes together once, and he was just like, yeah, you're really funny, really, you know, on real quick. It's maybe you could write on. I was like, yes, I'll anything. It's like, you know, months would go by. Yeah, I was thinking about it. It's like, you know, it's like I saw some of your videos. Hey, you could probably direct some of the episodes and like maybe help produce it. Like, I was like, please, yes.
Yeah.
And then one day he's just casually, we're talking. And it's just phone calls over the course of months and months and a couple of years. And like, he's like, I realize it's like, I'm too old to do this, man. Like, you know, it's like, Mike's too old. It's like, you know, it's got to be like refreshed. It's Doctor Who. It's Saturday Night Live.
Right.
You know, it's,
he's right.
And he's like, so I just realized it's like, you know, we need a new doughy white guy to be on camera. And it should probably just be you. And I was like, was that now? No, it just makes sense. And then as I was sure, but even from that moment, it was still like maybe a year and a half before it was even official, and there was different iterations of how it was going to work. Like maybe a live theater, a real live Mystery Science Theater in Philadelphia, where I'd live for a while.
Geez,
and then he just kind of, like I said, he has these big ideas and he kind of whittles it till it makes sense.
And it made sense to bring it back pretty much as it was, right, as a show.
Yeah, it's going to be the same show. I mean, it's all about the riffing of movies, and you know, he was asking. I was like, well, are you going to get Trace for Crow, or is it going to be Bill Corbett for like? And he's like, no, it's like, you know, you gotta. It's like you said, Doctor Who, Saturday Night Live,
break it up.
Yeah, and so he's like, who would you think for Crow? And I said, I can only think of one comic. His name is Hampton Yount.
Right.
And he already sounds and acts like Crow.
Yeah.
And I was like, who are you thinking for Tom Servo? He's like, I don't know. I just think he should, you know, to me, Tom's always been black, man.
That's great.
I was like, well, I know a guy that's perfect for that, Baron Vaughn. Just like,
that's good.
Yeah, like a theatrical, you know, singer guy. And, you know, so yeah,
that's
it's insane.
Awesome. So now what's the next step?
Well, right now they're shopping it around. There's like a couple like really cool places that are interested, so they're just trying to work it out. You know?
Oh, great! And
that's kind of the interesting thing. Most of the shows or projects I've ever done, I've been in so much control.
Yeah,
like this, I'm like a hired host and writer, so I'm like, tell me when the job starts.
Isn't that like such a relief?
It's especially right now working on the Hidden America show, where I am responsible for
everything.
All.
Yeah,
and I'm
the meetings and all and the work and all the stuff. Just to know, because I've been in those situations where all of a sudden then you get hired.
Yeah,
and you're just like, all right, Tom, we're done. And you know when you leave, they're going to be in meetings. They're going to stay. They're going to be ordering dinner.
Yeah.
And you're just on your way off the lot.
Yeah.
It is such a different thing.
Yeah, it is. And I right now I miss it, but I know there's going to be another time where I'm like, I just wish I could tell them that if they just did this kind of thing, or if they just moved the camera this way, if they use that lens, you know.
Oh, it's such a cool thing though. And he is right. I mean, to freshen it up. I mean, because everybody wanted to see a Seinfeld reunion. Then you got a little dose of it on Curb. Everyone wanted Arrested Development to come back. And it's just like, when they come back, it's just like, it's almost what we want.
Yeah.
If we could just have frozen everybody.
Yeah, it really, I can't. And, you know, I think X-Files is doing a pretty good job of coming back.
Yeah. But you still can't, there's a little party that's like, the faces are just different.
Yeah. It is like seeing like a band that you saw as a kid, and you see them now, and you're like, you look around the room, you're like, oh, everyone's dying.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna die. They're gonna die. They're not even. I used to think these guys were so old, and they're like clearly 5 years older than me.
I know. And it's like, it would be one thing if they come back and they're just playing themselves 10 years later. But they come back and they're still doing the same shtick, and they're trying to do the same romance or whatever it is. It's just hard to come back. But to do for your show, to like just be a fresh face and a new guy that's been punished and sentenced to space, it's gonna be great. Yeah, and to be punished by Felicia Day and Patton Oswalt, I think is gonna be a lot of fun. Great.
Yeah, I can't I can't believe it, and it's I feel like I feel like I'm lucked out. I've lucked out so much that I'm lucked out.
Right. This will be good.
Because I got, like Weird Al was one of my childhood heroes.
Yeah.
I'm in a video that my friend Eric Appel directed that Al shows at his concerts now.
So you're in Al's concerts.
I'm in Al's concerts, and I'm like, I've worked with him a few times. Like, I've gotten to write and act with him. And now I'm going to be, in Mr. Science Theater. Like, and the fact that it's like, I think it's crazy that Mel Brooks announced Spaceballs 2, because that's the other one. That's like, it's like Mr. Science Theater, Weird Al, and Mel Brooks. That's like the trifecta of me. That's what makes me who I am.
Right.
And so, like, now I'm just going, like, I was on the way here thinking about emailing my agent's manager going, if I don't even if I don't show up in the background, like, I want to be one, like, it was like, who here's assholes? Yo, I want to just be one of those guys. If I don't show up, I'm going to fire all of you.
That's a great email to write.
Yeah. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to see who calls my bluff. I'll see which ones have a sense of humor.
You're listening to Come to Papa on Sirius XM 99. I'm here with my good pal, Mr. Jonah Ray, very funny comedian. You can follow him on Twitter. You should follow him on Instagrams.
Got some good videos on there.
And he's going to have a new show coming out called
Hidden America with Jonah Ray.
When will people be able to see this?
Last I heard is July.
Yeah.
First I heard was January, then March, then June, July. Wish they would have told me that when I was writing it at a breakneck speed.
Right, exactly.
But,
going balls out.
Yeah, but it's going to be on CISO.com, which is cool. Yeah, it's got like, tons of great stuff on there.
That's awesome. I just got back from Hawaii.
That's where I was born and raised.
Where
Rhode Island.
I just did a gig in Maui.
Okay, never been.
Never been?
No, you don't go.
You don't go island to island?
I went to Kauai once because my dad won a contest at work.
Right.
And we got like a hotel in Kauai.
Right.
So we did that, and then I went once with my band to Kauai, and then we went to the Big Island all the time because we had family out there.
Okay.
So that was like the only reason we would ever go to the Big Island.
So going to the other islands is like going to any vacation destination kind of thing for you?
Well,
like it's like I'm not going.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's very similar. It's like if you took your family down to Huntington Beach,
right?
For a vacation. It's just like,
right. Why would I?
We could sleep at home. It's just another beach. There's more water.
Describe your home growing up.
My home growing up? It was when we first moved in, it was like a nice size house, and it was across the street from kind of a crack neighborhood.
Oh, really?
A real rundown, real sketchy area. My dad bought a lot in this spot. They eventually pushed everybody out of that neighborhood. And so for a while, we were living across the street from like a whole abandoned neighborhood, which was great as a kid, going in, breaking stuff.
That must have been cool.
Then they all started getting lit on fire.
Right.
And then they tore it all down, and then they turned it into a park, and then our house was across the street from a park that led to the beach.
Really?
Yeah.
How old were you then?
When that happened, I was probably 13.
13.
Yeah.
So the beach is literally a park's distance from your house.
Yes. It was nuts.
Wow.
And my dad, we could almost see the water, and there was these kind of tall pine trees covering our view of the water. And so my dad once woke up my brother in the middle of the night, and they went across the street, and my dad started chainsawing down.
No.
Yeah. And then he told my brother, it's like, when you see flashing lights, tell your dad, and then we'll run. And so he just started he took down 2, and it was I remember seeing it in the papers. It's like someone mows down trees on Kailua Beach.
That is awesome.
Yeah. But
now, how did your dad end up in Hawaii?
Born and raised there. His dad born and raised there.
Really?
Yeah.
So you have roots.
Yeah. My family's been in Hawaii a few generations, maybe 4 early plantation workers from Portugal and the Azores came over, and real
I love
early.
Hawaii so much.
It's one of the most magical, beautiful places, and it's also alarmingly messed up and dirty at the same time.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. Like, I've been going to Maui for a while, I guess. I've been to Kauai, just watching it get more and more developed. And all of a sudden, like, the ride from out of the airport, you almost want to shut your eyes and like, this isn't Hawaii. Just keep going until we get out of all of this. I don't need to see the strip malls and the Subway sandwich shop. But even that, I mean, I'm exaggerating to some degree, but it is like, you want the picture you just painted of looking through a park and just seeing the ocean.
Yeah, exactly. And my town, going back home, it's developed now. There's a Starbucks, there's a Target, which I can't even in my head. We had a small little suburban town on the windward side of the island, and it's still beautiful. It's still beautiful.
Still
you can't
magical.
Take that away. Yeah.
No, is in your mind, is the nature and what it is so overwhelming that it's always going to be more powerful than Target and Costco?
I think so. I really think so. It's you can't build on the sand.
Right.
You can't build on the water.
Right.
You can't build like the billions upon billions of stars you're able to see in the sky there. You can't build on that. You can't block that out. You can't, those mountains, you can't even.
No outdoor advertising.
Yeah.
No billboards.
It's great. It's a great place.
It's so magical. Do you get back pretty often?
Not as much as I'd like. My parents now live in an apartment in Waikiki, which is two places I'd rather not stay. Like I love my parents. They're amazing, but it's like, I'm staying in a 2-bedroom apartment in the last place I would want to be in Hawaii.
Yeah. You want to feel.
I want to go back home, which is like my house now is like a vacation rental, and I guess I could do that, but that'd be really odd. And,
that would be weird. Is it really? It's a vacation rental?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. You could go rent it.
I could, and I don't know if I would want to.
That would be weird.
Yeah, it would be. I think about it sometimes.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I could come to terms with doing that. I mean, I love it. Ever since people came there, it's always in a process of change and development.
Sure. And I think people seem to want to preserve it, too. I think there's forces that want to rape it and make money off of it, but I think seems like there's enough. I mean, that guy from Oracle that just bought Lanai.
Oh, he bought Lanai?
He bought the whole island.
So now it's not in the family anymore, huh?
No.
That's a bummer.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
But maybe he's,
put in a couple quiet Four Seasons. They're building.
They're building Four Seasons there?
There's, I think, 2.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Molokai is the one that's going to be holding strong. That's going to be the place that's going to be, I think, the last battleground. I mean, Big Island, sure, because it's so huge.
Yeah.
It's so big. And, I still have cousins that live out there and uncle and aunt that live in, Kamawela, which is the Parker Ranch. It's like, you're not even in Hawaii at that point. You're just you're just in this,
a suburb.
No, not even the suburb. You're just in the sticks. You're just surrounded by farms.
Oh, really?
As far as you can see. You can kind of make out Mauna Kea in the distance, but you're just like, oh, this is just horses and cows everywhere. It's not even a beach or a mountain. It's a weird place.
Right.
It's odd. I don't know. I love Hawaii, and I think it's one of the most beautiful, pretty places.
You must feel tied to it in your soul, I would think.
Yeah. It's funny. I'm glad you said that, because it's true. I think there's a connection that you have with it that you can't ever shake. And it's when you meet someone else that's grown up there, and it's not. And I always have to deal with that question too, because my mom, she moved there when she was 13 with her family.
Okay.
But like
a white lady?
She was a white lady.
Right.
And my dad was, brown Portuguese guy.
Right.
And that's why my last name is Rodrigues, which is like the Portuguese version of, Rodriguez. Which was fine in Hawaii. Everyone said it the right way. When I moved out here, started signing up for open mics, I was like, Rodriguez? And I go, well, that's got to change.
Yeah. I'm going to cut a lot of this off.
Yeah. Luckily, my middle name is Ray, which like if I just use my middle name as my last name, it just makes me seem that much more white.
Right.
But it's like having family that's been there for so long.
Yeah.
And it's and knowing the kind of places, knowing the lore, knowing the history. Like I'm so glad that they made a law while I was going to school that you had to take Hawaiian history. And I did drunk history on Comedy Central.
Right.
And I did the episode of Hawaii. And I got
to see that one.
It's great, but it's once I found out that the other two, narrators, storytellers, one was Kurt Braunohler, I can't remember what the other one was, but it's like 3 white guys telling the history of Hawaii, and I was like, can't do it. So I did my best to, I called friends that, went to UH, and I said, can you put me in touch with the Hawaiian histories professors? And I did like a lot of research for mine, and I wanted to tell my story through the perspective of the Hawaiians when Captain Cook showed up and stuff like that.
While you were really drunk, or were you just told you had the straight part of it?
I was really drunk when I told the story. And I spoke a lot of pidgin when I was doing it. And they were like, you shouldn't do that. It's racist. I was like, it's not racist. It's just how we talked. And then like I called my dad, and my dad like spoke pidgin. They're like, okay, all right.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
No, I tell you, it's such a great place. And
you think about
I don't know
there?
what it is. I couldn't live there. I have a hard time even living here. But I mean that my soul is connected to the East Coast. Like it has this New York kind of, it's just where.
Did you grow up
where my
Manhattan?
blood comes from? No, right outside in New Jersey, in North Jersey, about 20 minutes outside of the city.
Yeah.
So I'm in that energy, right? That's my kind of
safe place.
Yeah, or it's just who I am, I guess.
Yeah.
When I am out here, looking out of my back door at palm trees, and when I'm in Hawaii, listening to Hawaiian music and the stars, I bliss out.
Too much.
I bliss out. It's hard for me to keep the creative fire going.
Yeah.
And I'm not lazy, but I could. There's a pull towards, why work so hard?
You need a certain amount of misery.
I think so.
Yeah, or stress.
Do you have that at all? Probably not, because you work hard. You're always hustling and doing stuff.
Yeah, but I try to do it, and that's the thing. Chris Hardwick is one of the hardest workers I've ever met in my life.
Right.
And being friends with him, like, and we clash a lot with about like work ethic stuff. And I say so much. He's like told me offhand. He's like you can't live your life like a punk rock drummer. And and like my response was, oh, watch me. I think it's very important to in the end, it's we're all going to die. It's I have kind of like I kind of refer to myself as a optimistic nihilist, or it's like, nothing means anything. So why bother? Or, like why bother not having a good time throughout the course of it?
So you try and enjoy yourself is what you're saying.
Yeah. Which I think is a very Hawaiian thing. It's like, no worries,
right.
Yeah. Relax. Just kind of take it easy.
And it's a difficult thing, especially in our work, because Mystery Science Theater aside, all the other stuff is really self-generated. And it's stuff that but it's also, back to your friend, Mr. White, it's also, if it's an artist, you can kind of feel lazy at sometimes and enjoy life and still have a lot of output.
True. The trick is not getting full of anxiety about not doing anything in those moments.
That is say it again.
Try not to let those moments of doing nothing that you've earned.
Yes.
Try not to let those fill you with anxiety because you're not doing anything.
Oh man, that is something I battle all the time.
Yeah, it's tough.
Just yesterday it was like 84 degrees. It's Monday, which technically is my day off because I've been working all weekend. Yeah. And the week is kind of starting. And then you just have like that little blip where you can just kind of do nothing. And it's 85. I should just sit in a damn chair for 5 minutes. And I can't do it without having that feeling of like, we should be hustling, we should be doing something.
And what did you do in that 5 minutes that really couldn't have waited? Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. I do my best to be able to sit, and this is a weird, dumb analogy, but I was once sitting at a stoplight, and I found myself all the time, like when I get in my car, I get in real fast. And like, it's like when I get in my car, I get out real fast. When I walk from my car to the office, I walk real fast. And, when I'm trying to like throw away something, like, break down some, I saw a guy, an old man, throwing away like a big box, and he was trying to cut it up and break it apart to fit it into a recycling can.
Right.
But I saw the way he was doing it, where he was just like had a box cutter. Yeah. He was just cutting it, putting it in, and he was doing all this stuff. And it was like, he was just so content to just do it right and just have it be done and let the thing that he's doing be the thing he's doing. And have that be done, then go on and do something else. And I think about this man all the time.
I get it.
Like, it's like, especially almost not to like make it a perfect, like, just like one for one, but like when I was taking apart a box, I go, like I just tearing it apart.
Stopping on it.
Yeah. Like staples going in my hand. It's like, and I try to equate. I think about that guy whenever I'm doing anything. I was just like, take your time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Just do it. I mean, look, if you're with Chris saying like, you can't live your life like a
punk rock drummer.
If you are the purely punk rock drummer, maybe you can't but you have enough sense and enough going on structure in your life where you can kind of live that way as much as you can.
Yeah, I find it important. I find like on Saturday, I could have got some stuff done because I've been in an office, in Edda Bay for so long. But what I wanted to do, it was nice out.
Yeah.
And I wanted to just drink during the day with my friends.
That's
so
right.
I went to a couple bars during the day that had a nice outdoor patio.
Perfect.
And there's nothing more lovely than the ability and freedom to do that.
That is the best. Well, I have to say, you're really a very cool guy. And, I've watched your stuff and wanted to get to know you for a long time. And we got to do that baked potato show with our friend Steve Agee, where I watched you drum your ass off after your set, which is very impressive.
Thank you. But you got to sing
I got
a little
to sing
help.
a little Joe Cocker, which was terrifying and fun.
But it was nice. You did the lean back. You got to do that lean back.
But hopefully we'll get to work more and do stuff because I think I want to I think you're ultimately going to end up having a place in Hawaii, and I want to be invited. I don't know what it is, but something about this trip, and it was only a 2-3 day thing.
Yeah.
It tipped me over to and you know what? It connected this environment to that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of similarity if you look at it in a certain way, a certain nature and stuff.
Yeah, it's very like, you got to take a certain angle on LA to really feel like Hawaii. And that's why I love like the Highland Park area, which I live in, because I got the San Gabriel Mountains just right there.
Yeah.
And I got the palm trees, and it feels like Hawaii. And plus it's like Latino and laid back, which is very much like Hawaiian, laid back.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, this was great. Everybody follow Jonah on Twitter and Instagram. Look for his new show coming out in July. We'll plug it all and give you updates as we get closer. That's it for now. Enjoy your life.
Goodbye.